Están Ready Bros Podcast.
E3.
Yeah.
Están ready, bros?
Check.
How you guys doing on your levels on your headphones?
Yeah.
You guys good? Louder?
You can put me up a little bit, Amal.
You're at,
Yeah,
how about now?
That's good. Yeah, I'm good. I
So
can
these
hear.
are the
Good,
actual
good.
levels right here.
Oh, no, just on your levels on your
never mind.
headphones.
You hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Testing?
Yeah, we're good. I hear everybody
You want
good.
to do
Here and there.
Check.
So we're gonna go. We're gonna go all around. It's Están Ready Bros once. And
Okay,
then
right.
you'll end it with the Están Ready Bros. And okay.
All right.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Están ready, bros?
Están ready, bros?
Están Ready Bros.
Están Ready Bros.
What's up? What up, Rizzo?
What's up, bro?
What up, Leo?
Oh shit, we live.
What's up,
yo.
Hoya?
Yo, we here. I'm in the building. I finally made it.
Yeah, man.
We touched down. I just touched down maybe an hour ago, 2 hours ago.
Damn.
Came straight from what? Miami International?
From Miami International to LAX to La Puente, right?
Puente, right here. Bridge
I
City.
want to say it's my first
Bridgetown,
time in La
dude.
Puente. Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah?
always hear about it. Maybe drove through it,
Bridgetown.
and hearing about you motherfuckers talk about it on here. That's the only time. So yeah,
One thing I just want to add real quick as far as the Miami International, that's the most Spanish-speaking airport in the country.
listen,
God.
the
No
most
way.
yeah.
Really?
What? So over there I go. So when I first moved to Miami, 8 years ago maybe.
Oh, wow.
So I go to Walmart. Listen, there's nowhere whiter than Walmart, right? I go to Walmart, I'm looking for something. I go, excuse me, you know where the fucking spatulas are, whatever. And the lady, no entiendo inglés. I'm like, we're at fucking Walmart. I speak Spanish. But that shit should be the fucking law. Walmart? Come on. You know what I mean? But
Sam Walton's turning his grave. Huh?
and that's the first place you'll see like a hot like 60-year-old lady in a tanga like working the register at like Publix or some shit. It's like
It's funny because we always say that every time we go to Miami. I'm like, dude, everybody's hot. The old people are hot.
Yeah.
Like, dude, old women. Old guys are good looking as fuck,
Yes.
dude. They have fucking 25-year-old like girlfriends, dude. It's insane, dude.
Yeah, you know what? The weather. So the weather's there, and Latin people, you give Latin people a reason to get naked, they don't know how to act. That's why you got 100 kids. Between us, we got a lot of 100 kids and 100 kids in one pair of balls right there.
But also, too, the tropical climate. Like, if you go to the
Island
Caribbean or Caribbean, you go, like, Cuba, Dominican Republic. You
Puerto
go even,
Rico.
like, that. Even Sinaloa right there. All the women have butts, bro.
Yeah.
They're all
Yeah.
built.
Yeah.
You go to the little skinny states in the middle of the country.
Skinny states.
Or, like, where my parents are from, Zacatecas. The chicks are tall, flat-chested, no butt. You know what I mean?
What?
They're pretty, but, I mean, no body.
Zacatecas has a taller people.
Yeah, they're
tall.
tall, and then they're no butt.
Because that's what I noticed about, cause like I was telling you guys before, I'm not Mexican. I'm from Ecuador and Nicaragua, but
Nice.
I grew up with a lot of Mexicans in my family and friends and all that stuff. But I noticed that you had either the regular Cholito style short, like South American and
Compact.
little compact Native American looking, improvised motherfuckers. Or you get these big apocalypto motherfuckers, right?
Yeah, bro.
They sneak in there like.
Ready to fuck up a Spaniard,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. Now you get a couple of those big, but they usually get them and make them a movie star, right? In Mexico, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you get the big dude. You're over 5'8", movie star.
Good job.
I got no chance, bro.
This fool said movie star.
No, they sell these shits you can put in your shoes. I'll tell you. I just
Little,
saw that.
like, inner tacones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inverted.
I wear those tacones inside my socks, so the girls will never know,
No, but for sure, but freaking Viva Mexico, man. We will tell you, there's a lot of it. And that's the thing about it over here that you go to when you arrive in Florida, you feel Cuba.
Yeah, you feel it deep.
When I come
Conservative
here,
Cuba.
The minute we land, I hear De la Sierra Morena. I hear Mexico. I saw Mexicans everywhere. Tacos. It's like
Because I
big.
Every time we
Nice.
go to Miami, I tell people, dude, every Lyft driver speaks Spanish. It's a different country because it's basically in the Caribbean, bro.
Yes.
You know?
And you know what it is there? Like, even in New York was like that. Like, my father, rest in peace, he knew 3 words of English. He lived in America 60 years. America is great like that you could be Latin and get through. And he was from New York. So usually East Coast is very, they cater to Latin American people. which they never got to learn English from New York to. You'll be fine. You'll have a job in the, whatever, the Hilton Hotel, and not know one word of English.
¿Para qué?
Yeah, exactly.
But also too, like you're in your own bubble. You know what I mean? Bubble of immigrants, bubble of your community of people, whether it's Mexicans, Dominicans, Latin, Spanish speaking people.
And again, about Florida, this is the thing. Florida is the first stop when you get into America, one of the first stops. So you touch down there, don't matter if you're from Argentina, Mexico, the Caribbean, most likely you're gonna touch down there and go through customs. That's the closest thing to the South America, warm weather, a mix of Latin people. You're gonna find the same imports. Florida's wild. I love it, but it's really wild. It's its own animal. It's like Texas 2.0.
That's real South right there, because that's the southest tip of the country.
Yeah, especially if you go to like the Key West, dude, that's fucking.
Or the Everglades, you got people eating boas and shit.
I seen the craziest shit. I seen like the right wing Puerto Rican freaking hillbillies.
God damn,
like
dude.
in Florida, because the minute you go west of whatever 95, I don't even know what the highways are there. It's Everglades, you know what I mean? Unless you're in Miami, West Palm, the 101.
Right, Tampa, something like
Everything
that.
Else is the South.
Hickville.
Yeah, it's crazy, because I bugged out when I would see these Cubans, and they'd be like talking to me like, yeah, we're going to go down gator hunting, whatever. And I'm like, you don't sound like the Cubans I know from New York. You know what I mean? It's a different animal,
Why is that, though? Why are they two different? Why did it change?
You know what it is? Well, Florida is so big, and it's when again you go to New York, like
geography,
so
bro.
even let's say with the Mexicanos, if you come to LA, there's a lot of Mexicans. You could kind of stay there and stay with your people. Same thing. It's dense in small areas of the popular. Latin people.
Pockets.
We find it in. Our whole family comes right behind us.
That's what it is. If you don't even got a floor to sleep on, don't even come over.
Yeah, exactly. And then if wow, Rodrigo and his family went over there and they're doing good. There's jobs. Oh, guess what? My family's gonna go move next door, or the chance, or where you know what I mean? Or I have a cousin that needs to go to the States. You're gonna help him get a job. You tend to kind of
all the people
piggyback off each other, and then you kind of like because my family helped a lot of Mexican dudes. Like I said, we had friends. My godbrother was Mexican, so my mother would help sponsor, because she was always like, nah, fuck. My mother was proud American from Nicaragua, but she was like, nah, fuck that. Everybody has a chance to come here. But hey, let's do it the right way.
Right.
That's how she was. And so I grew up, my godbrother was Mexican, so I grew up with a lot of Mexican in my household. So she would always bring people. I had bands playing. I had more accordions than motherfucking whatever polka fucking party you motherfuckers go to. I had in my house.
The polka king, dude.
Oh yeah, I had all that shit. So
and all that too. It's like, all right, that's geography, but it's also too that Latin thing, that Catholic thing. Whether if you believe in it or not, if you do the whole rituals, whatever. If you're born into that, it's a common language. Being Spanish, regardless of the fact. Like even where my dad worked at a factory, there'd be like 7 types of Latinos.
Of course,
at lunchtime after work, they all talk to each other.
Yeah, of course, because you know what it is. It's almost like you could most likely find something in common with other Latinos being Latinos. Yeah. So you go with what you know. When I'm in Europe, I spent my whole life traveling, touring in Europe. You know what it is? When I first saw like a Latin person in Germany,
oh shit,
I don't care. Are you Mexican? Are you Argentine? I'm like, oh yeah, what's up? Hey, come on, blah, blah. And you're just like vice versa.
Yeah.
I stopped these literally. What I mean by cholo,
it's that connection,
cholita, it was
bro.
Peruvian, mother and daughter. I'm talking from Machu Picchu.
Indigenous as fuck, like Native.
The smocks, the braids. They were doing they were
Inca Cola style, bro.
Straight up in Holland or whatever. I swear, and I was living there with my wife at the time, and I remember I was away from home for a while, and I remember. I had to go up to the lady and be like, "Oye, ¿cómo está, señora?" Oh, blah, blah, just to say something, because I was missing my mom's, and that felt like my mom. It reminded me, and I'm like, just close enough.
Yeah.
And to be out here was like, and just to hear, oh, like, que Dios te bendiga or something like that. I was like, oh, like I get goose pimples. Nah, it felt like, it just feels like, okay, something that we're used to.
There's a little connection right there.
There's a connection that she don't know us. She could be Mexican, Peruvian, whatever. I'm neither.
But you bond over that.
And all the Latins have that thing where at the end of the day, they want to wish you well.
Because
if they mean it or not, but they do. That's get the other and the ladies too. They have that thing.
The connection, right?
that Catholic mom kind of
Motherly grace, bro.
and you just have a connection because of the Spanish language. You know, it's just like like oh, cómo estás? Like you said it perfectly. You could be Argentinian,
Don't matter.
You could be the Chile, pero you could be Mexican, Dominican, or Ecuadorian.
You feel
Pero
home.
you have that dude. They bunch us up together, so we're like a lot of the music, television. It's like, dude, again, we understand each other. You know, there might be slight,
even on the East Coast or the West Coast, Channel 52, Televisión, or fucking Galavisión, or Telemundo, we watch both those networks.
course.
Regardless, everybody knows who Don Francisco is.
yeah.
Of course, same thing here. Don't think in the East Coast, all the Puerto Ricans, they all grew up with Cantinflas. They all grew up with La India Maria.
Pedro
I grew up
Infante.
with
Yeah,
them.
bro. That Spanish programming.
man.
Listen,
deep.
and not by a
That's
little,
deep. That's
and not
deep.
by a little, like movie theaters. I saw Cepillín live as a kid.
Wow, dude.
Really?
I saw him live in my old neighborhood at a movie theater that they would have that. I saw Edie Chacon. Who do you know about Edie Chacon? That's OG Spanish shit. She was like the hot dancer, big butt dancer star in the 70s. If you Google her and you ask either all your family members, oh, what's up with Edie Chacon, they'll bug out.
Well, the one that came after Carmen Miranda.
Yeah.
All
She
that
was,
shit.
She was like the Pamela Anderson of the 70s for Latins. Like, oh, Edie Chacon, oh, they go nuts because she's big butt, dance. But I mean, I grew up with all that. And in New York, that was big. Remember, most of the movies were Mexican. They had one of the biggest the
golden
movie-
era.
Yeah, the movie
golden era.
industry was all the Mexican movies, like all that. Listen, they would play
Right before 1945.
Pedrito Fernandez when he was a little kid, all that shit. He would come
La
in New
Mochila
York.
Azul.
That shit was huge.
Lola La
Huge.
Trailera out there. I'm sure you guys seen that.
Oh,
movie.
That hoe was giving
all
head
that.
to everybody.
All that. That's why I always be posting that Vicente shit because I grew up with that shit. And the 101 hits to me are like just in general
Juan Gabriel.
Latin. Yeah, of course. That's New York shit, like kind of.
That's crazy because like out here in the West Coast, we don't think that like people like in the East Coast, Latinos out there, like Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Ecuadorians.
They were touring New York for the last 40 years.
were.
Them, Los Tigres del Norte.
And we don't think about that, but do you guys? It's like we have that bond that fucking like Latinos are, like we're brothers.
You know what it is?
everywhere, bro.
It's because Mexican, the Mexican style of music will kind of go into more the, you're singing about the passion and the pain, and you're kind of bringing it here. The Caribbean dudes are singing their thing, and it's more like being loud and showing it,
moving.
Yeah.
Like that. We're being loud about it. Where where it's more like techno, like if it would be techno version of what of Mexican.
Also,
music
that little
is.
Afro-Latino flair.
Absolutely, it's double time, faster rhythms, and it's a different. A lot of those, if you read the lyrics to Hector Lavoe, some of those, man, they're deep shit. But the music is, you hear that salsa and you think
Yeah.
it's dancing, but when you're reading, he's talking about, my mother died, left me with my father, he was a drug addict, and then you read it, you're like. But if it was done Vicente style, it'll be like, right? It'll be a slow accordion and wide and
Slow down.
Why? You're drinking.
Yeah.
When you drink things, slow down and bada. That's where it comes from.
Damn.
The Caribbean, not that Mexico don't fuck with the perico,
Right.
but the Caribbean, they're flying, they're partying. New York, the club
Moving.
scene, disco,
Yeah.
that was big cocaine. It showed in the music.
And real quick with that, you mentioned Hector Lavoe because they did a thing with Our Latin Thing. And that whole thing was like Latinos Unite. It wasn't like it's a Puerto Rican thing. This is a Cuban thing.
Yeah.
This is a Latino thing. And they sold out Yankee Stadium in the 70s.
Yep. You brought that up, and that was the thing that people don't know. That's why they call it salsa. You know what? There's a guy on YouTube. I'm getting goose pimples. I'm gonna try to find it and send it to you. It's one of their shows, and the show starting out with like the guy introducing, and he's kind of saying, "This isn't this. This isn't that." He's basically explaining all the elements of salsa, and he goes, "We put this element with that element, and we made salsa." It was when they were basically showcasing it to the world. Heck, the merengue guys, salsa guys, they were like, "Yo, I like what you do. I like what you do. Yo, I like what you do. I like those ballads. Let's put it all together. We're all Latinos.
Him, Johnny Pacheco.
Yeah,
and
all of
those
them, all of
I know.
them. And then what they did those shows? Forget it. And again, that was before the whole Latin craze.
Oh,
you know?
fuck
like,
yeah.
In the late 90s,
I mean,
early 90s, right?
No, dude, this is the 70s, bro.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
Damn.
Selling out Yankee Stadium.
Online, you find you could put it. It's like Willie Colon. Hector
Yeah.
Lavoe.
That's the other one.
And,
Willie Colon,
yeah, and that's Panama. So you got Panama. You got, Cuba, Puerto Rico. It's a mix. But their whole thing was always like, hey, a Latino thing, So, but that's why I always like the name salsa. Like, it makes sense, It's a mix of sauce. It's a mix of this and that.
Damn.
And when you hear it, in general, all of it is a salsa.
Oh, fuck
when
yeah,
you break
bro.
down music, I say the same thing about I always joke about the accordion, but this is how when you break down music, where it all comes from, because you bring down the accordion. If you break down ranchero music and you start stripping shit around, I could play a polka for you.
Yeah.
It's a polka. It's boom, bam, bam, boom, bam, boom, boom, bam, boom, bam. Now you add guitars and you add certain horns. The
basic
elements.
elements.
You could be like, you could be like, like German. That's from the German shit. Germans ended up in Mexico.
Yeah. Well, they brought the music.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then they mixed it with the indigenous stuff. That's where you get different, percussions and tempos. But that was the mix. When you start doing that, you're like, wow, you could almost find it. Like the origins of what's in
Wow,
what.
it's amazing.
And it's like interesting because it comes from that. And that, you hear reggaeton. That's accordion. Right? Reggaeton is fast accordion, but digital. So it went from polka, made its way here, then changed.
Chica,
Yeah, and then you hear that, then they learn how to take those sounds, sample it, speed it up.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's pretty
it's-
deep, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy when you can find. It's all there. It's all the same shit. Like every dish has been made. It's just how you put it together.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
Your mother
true.
makes tacos different than your mom's, and your mom same shit. It's a taco. It's a tortilla de meat. Oh, but she does this.
Yeah,
I do
she
that.
uses Crisco.
Yeah.
We use
exactly.
canola oil.
Yeah.
She uses lard.
Manteca.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even how Guatemalans they make a version of the taco, but it's called, what is it called? Como chapines. It's
No,
basically
champiñones, that's what you call Guatemalan, but not champignon. That's there's a
chapines are good, dude.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's kind of like a long sope,
Yeah.
kind of like a small huarache.
What exactly is sopes? That always, because I always think sopa. And
A sope is just basically it's the same thing they make corn. It's just a little harder than a tamale.
Okay.
But it's just basically like a little plate
A little
for meat and beans and cheese.
A maize plate. That's what it is, right?
It's like a hard taco, kind of.
Yeah.
You dip in
Thicker.
The beans. Yeah.
And it's gonna come on a dish like a little fucking spaceship.
You just put you put the beans and the
cream cheese, the
cream
crema,
cheese,
the crema.
the asada, whatever you want.
How you want to do it? How you want to dope it up? You know what I mean? If you
Yeah,
want
it's-
onions and cilantro on it, throw on. If you want sour cream, if you want.
Yeah, a lot of people don't really talk about sopes though.
Yeah, I see it a lot now, like sopes. That's why I was bug out because I'm like, what is this? I never heard of it. And when I was in Mexico, I didn't eat a lot. I ate a whole bunch of shit that I don't see in Puebla.
Puebla's
Mole?
a whole different animal.
Mole.
But that's
Mole.
that's
Really?
a chocolate
That's what I hear,
mole.
dude.
Chocolate mole.
And the best
banging.
candies ever.
Listen, I had the best mole in Puebla. That's why I fell in love with it.
No, that's what's up right there next to. It's right there on the other side of Mexico City, Cuernavaca, all that shit. But they have their own thing. Also, too, like with their art and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's all artisan plates. If you when
Is
you
that
go like
is that basically like Mesoamerica, like before the Spanish came?
Well,
like
it's
that
all
kind of-
pre-Columbian shit. I mean,
Pre-Columbia.
that's a tortillas is all that shit too.
Yeah.
but
Indigenous,
These people, like, if you go to artisan place or where they have like that top-notch Mexican food, but presented all like fucking bougie. And,
Yeah.
Gourmet, algo
That's
así.
they're basically all they're doing is redoing Puebla shit.
Yeah, Puebla's really like
Yeah.
kind of like.
And,
I got you. It seemed like that more like original, old style. Like
That's
even-
kind of basically what they were feeding
I'm
the
just
Spanish
kidding.
when they got there. You know
Oh,
what I mean? It's still
wow.
like old school. Like you bring it back Mesoamerica, pre-Columbian shit. It's kind of that's the closest you're probably gonna get to the.
To the old world.
Or yeah, exactly. Well, to the Aztecs and all that.
And I
shit.
believe it. Puebla, when I was there, so I'm going to be 50. I was there when I was 15. and it was like that, like still very old style Spanish, like old style there.
If you go back to like listen to some old Anthony Bourdain's No Reservations, a lot of his kitchen helps.
Yeah, but Puebla, all of them.
They're all from Puebla.
In New York, a lot of the Mexicans that Pueblanos,
they're the first
they
ones going up
they
there.
come up there, yeah. For sure.
Because that's what people like are tripping on. Well, why aren't there tall Mexicans? Why do they all look indigenous? That's just the part of Mexico they went over there.
Yeah.
And like now, that's the kind of like food that you have.
Yeah, and my godbrother, when I went to Puebla, my godbrother's white as fuck. He's white and Puerto Rican, but his mom was really light skinned and his father. So was really light skinned and blonde, and all their family were like that, really light skinned. They had, they were from money over there.
Right.
It was beautiful.
Los
over there.
españoles que se quedaron allí.
Yeah. They still had that very, very Mexicano, but very, you could tell like, the raza still hooked up in their blood. They be happy with that extra. The motherfuckers get happy that they got the extra Spanish blood in them.
The thing is, it's like I was telling Rizzo, like if you have hair on your body, if you're tall, that's you're swaying more against not against, but you're like more against you're far away from the indigenous roots.
Yes,
I mean you have more Spanish blood in you.
Sure.
That's the thing. Like whatever you want to say, you can say you're indigenous fuck, but if you don't look like that little lady right there, that little brown little face, that little indigenous face, then you're really not.
No, for sure. You could tell the reason why there is that in the body because the environment, where you're from. A lot of white guys are very hairy. They come from very cold climates. That's what they grow up in.
Yeah. Vikings, dude. Yeah.
See, my dad was 6'2", white skin, blue eyes, from Zacatecas. Yeah. You look at my dad.
Are you sure he's your dad?
But the Spanish.
No, but he'll look. I have his features.
There's a town in Zacatecas. It's called San Jose de Llanetes. They all look like that,
dude. And even in school, elementary school, people they didn't think that was my dad.
So you look like your mom's side.
I got more from Guadalajara. My mom has big eyes, dark skin, small. I got my mom's side.
Yeah, and the way I saw it, even in Puebla, it almost felt like the lighter skinned people and the whatever seemed to be the better off people. It seemed.
Look at politics.
It's still the.
Look at politics. Look at politics in Mexico. They all look like that.
I'm thinking of it now, just thinking back. They were like white people. Like
Veronica Castro, all those people. And then when you're talking about your dad looks a certain way or this way, I mean that's just the fucking run of the fucking lot.
His whole family looked like that.
Yeah.
His side of the family.
Europeans.
It comes out. My mother, rest in peace, she was from Nicaragua, but my mother was looked like a Nicaraguan, like Chola, Indian, like that. And I'll show you pictures, bugged out pictures of her with nieces and stuff. Blonde hair and blue eyes they come out in the bloodline from the.
Oh yeah, that's why you'll have a cousin with green eyes,
and not even like a little brown hair that the Latins go güerita. No, blonde. And Nicaragua are known for being very, even if they have white, it's not very that. It was crazy. It would come out. You see like really dark,
Indígena, yeah.
But that skips a generation though, right?
Yeah,
because my brother's my brother's one of his kids is white skin, blue eyes. It's like that's like they took my dad's bloodline.
Yeah. No, it could skip, and the same thing with like, your genetics. You're gonna pick it up from one side of your mom's or whatever. Like hair loss, they say hair loss you get from your mother's side, from the fathers of your mother's side.
Oh shit!
But like hair loss and shit's bugged out when you start seeing how that works.
My grandpa died young, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, so now you check a hairline.
Bald ass.
Well, like her peluca's on chueca. Yeah, fix that shit.
I always think how my grandkids are gonna look though. Don't you ever run that?
I don't want to know.
I was still trying to comprehend dealing what he's dealing with now.
I'm looking at my kids. They don't even look like me.
Are you sure when you're out there killing roaches? You sure somebody who...
FedEx guy, bro.
So you got how many kids?
4.
You got 4. I got 2. How many you got?
I got 2.
Yeah, you got 2, and you got
negative 10.
You got 10,000. He got 10,000 in his balls right now.
I got 10,000 in a calcetín, homie.
You got to find that one swimmer.
Yeah, that one swimmer. Yeah, I was that one.
You're over here with the Special Olympic sperm.
That's what it is. You take a raw egg when there's a full moon. You shake it up.
It's like what you said. You can't think about like having kids. You put pressure on yourself. I noticed. I know people that like, we're trying. They've been trying for 2 years. It's like just don't try.
Man, don't try.
Just say I'm not trying, and that's when it comes. It's like God's like trying to be. Oh, okay, you're not trying. I'm gonna fucking give you a baby right now.
You just gotta keep doing it. Yeah, for sure. It's gonna.
Hopefully, you don't get the wrong bitch pregnant though.
Órale, carnalito. Hey, dude.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's where it's at, bro.
one of the Stallone sisters.
Yeah.
One of the Stallone
Look, throw one
daughters.
over here, bro.
No Devil's Trident or whatever
Get
you're talking
that,
about.
get that money, bro.
No more Devils, whatever thing you were
Oh,
talking about.
Devil's three-way.
Yeah.
We be watching the Stallone sisters,
So
man.
wait, there's the one with the guy, and what we call the two girls, the angels, what? Angel food cake? What was that shit?
No, I think that's just normal, right? Like
That's just normal.
That's three-way. That's
Pork
what's not
roast?
intended.
What'd you call it?
I like the normal then more.
Oh,
than
yeah,
the
two girls, one guy. Yeah, but the Devil's three-way is two guys, one girl. That's
Two
Devil's
guys, one
three-way.
girl.
it's El Pastor, you know. But yeah,
The Devil's
It
three-way.
is, yeah.
All kinds. El Cornudo, you got the two horns, right?
El Cornudo.
You got a cock ring made out of a pineapple or what? What the fuck? Al pastor dick over here?
Yikes.
Because when that happened in 2013, I remember it was just like, it was so crazy, bro. And I remember I told homeboy after Johnny, he's like, dude, you need to get a girlfriend, bro. Like, you can't be doing this kind of
You
shit.
can't be that. No, you're supposed to do it and get it out of your. You're supposed to get it out of your system.
He's like, what if you only get hard and you need? What if the only way you can get hard now is if there's another guy there now?
Or get the girl out of the way and just you and the guy.
Yeah. Well, your head butted.
Yeah. I ain't into that.
That's two dicks touching. That's called transferring data, homie.
Yeah,
you know.
I don't nut clack, homie.
It used to be like, the sidekick, you were able to like bump it and you can get info.
The Batman and Robin, homie.
Yeah.
Were the Samsung phones like that?
No, it was like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
It was the
Game
sidekicks.
Boys, yeah.
You click it. You used to bump. You bump it and I could bump you my info.
I'm good, bro.
I remember that.
I ain't that
dude.
progressive.
Yo, I'm telling you, there's a lot of progressive people though out there.
I don't know. It's weird because it's obviously, if that happened in your life, it's probably something you ain't gonna talk about anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know, man. I had to cut that part of my dick off and touch the other
You
dick.
know what it
Visor.
is? It's one of those things I think you to have in your arsenal. It's good to have, but like to be like a career Devil's three-way dude, like as a
hell
career.
nah.
I've done that before, guys.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah.
I don't got that kind of confidence.
Yeah, like career is like a little bit like I don't want plastic. Look, I'll tell you a funny story. Last thing I want to do is look at any of your, no offense, any of your faces when I'm in some.
So
push.
the way it happened. So the way it happened was I remember. So this girl didn't want to. I'm retelling the story again. But the girl, we were in the living room. The guy was watching the TV. His girl fell asleep in the room. She locked herself in the room. So he was just like, dude, what are you doing? Why come you're still kicking it here, you know? So the girl didn't want to go anywhere. She wanted to mess around in front of the guy. And I think she just wanted both of us. I think she's just horny.
Yeah.
I think she's just horny as well, you know?
she wanted him.
Yeah, double horny. So I put on my little condom I got from the thrift store, you know?
That little condom.
Yeah, a rubber band.
Hey, so you probably have a little Rizzle somewhere there.
Oh yeah, they're probably big by now.
Yeah, he's fucking 10. What's up, homie? Where's my fucking child support, dog?
Yo, that's the problem with that shit. So we're on tour. There's a problem with that. We were on tour, and it was big in the earlier days. We're in overseas or whatever, and they're like, okay, yo, let's go to see the naked girl, the jerk-off booths in Holland or somewhere.
Peep show?
Peep show shit, right?
Jerk off boots in Holland?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Jerk off boots?
Yeah,
please.
Solid-
Europe is
solid
off the
wacky.
hook.
Laws are different out there, right?
You guys don't know what jerk
I
off
never,
booths
bro, I
is.
never heard of that, bro.
Come on.
No.
I've never
I've been
to Europe,
I've been
dude.
a Peep show in North Hollywood and in Philly.
All right, so yeah, basically, like the dirty, you could do a dirty movie where you go in a booth. It'd be in a porno store, and they have movies
It's by yourself?
by yourself.
So
You go-
this is basically the Apple goggles.
yeah, your goggles, but before technology.
Now,
Fucking
3,500
meta
bucks,
goggles
you know?
over here.
Meta goggles for people over 40. But back in the day, you would have the jerk-off booth, right? If you want, you put quarters in, and they got
God,
movies, like 1,000 channels or whatever the fuck
No
shit
Apple
is.
Pay back then.
And then some of them,
1,000 channels.
but look at then some of them you would have, which well, my favorite was like nah, I passed the movie shit. I'm advanced.
Yeah, man.
I need a pulse behind that picture to me to blast off.
I need a heartbeat, homie.
Yeah, exactly. I need some type of
said a
something.
blast off.
I need something with blast off. So you get the live girl, so there's like a girl, you put in the money, it's like $1 or whatever more, and the thing goes down, and there's a girl there. And then you tip her, and the more you tip, I guess she takes off more clothes. So, all right, so.
But wait, sorry.
Go
But
ahead.
you see the girl.
Yeah. So you
So
Behind
it's-
glass.
It's not like a
I'm gonna
ugly
explain
ass
it.
chick. and
Exactly,
then-
I'm gonna explain it to you. So,
Jacking off at the zoo, bro.
So imagine a big, like a porno store with movies and stuff and whatever.
Maybe
But
the
they,
Dallas.
but they have in there, like, let's say a circular, like it would be like, like rooms, like it look like bathrooms. It's like a section where there's all doors, right? And those are all booths. You open the door and you have a seat. You get this,
And it's glass.
and there's a glass. It's shut up, and then when you put the money in, the glass goes down so you can see.
You can smell too?
Look again. Sometimes there's a glass. Sometimes it's open. But you have
Smells
the
like
thing.
bleach.
It depends on which one you were at. But this one we were in
¿Puedes
Holland.
tocar o no?
No, it depends on which spot you go
Depende.
to, and how many people there. What kind of girl?
VIP, bro.
How bad she needs to pay rent that month.
Oh, shit.
No, but what happens is
Pay me in euros.
So I'm like, so we're on tour. And we're like, yo, we're all going. What we do is walk around the red light district, which was big in Holland. That's where all the hookers are at. It's a common thing, Everybody does it because it's a tourist thing in Holland. Like even families go through there because it's part of the culture. You walk through the neighborhood and like it's booked out. Families walk through.
The Griswolds, homie.
Yeah, it's crazy, exactly. Because they're neighborhoods, and that's like where that's that and whatever. So you walk around and we're on tour, and everybody, guys are young and horny or whatever. Okay, all right, we're gonna go to the booth. All right, let's hit this booth. So one of these times we're walking around, we're like, yo, fuck it, we're gonna hit this booth. So there's a couple of us. So I'm like, all right, yo, whatever, nigga, I'm going in here. Right? So everybody scatters. So I go in the booth. I'm like, all right, I get in here. I take my money out. I'm like, all right, I'm going to blast off.
Dollars or euros?
It was euros at the time. This was before. No, it was Gilda. It was before the euro.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
So this is like
Before
Holland.
Yeah, Holland.
currency.
Yeah. So we go in there and I go, all right, fuck. Yo, shout out to Royce, motherfucker. You know this one. Anyway. So I go, yeah, all right. We go in and go, all right, let me get ready. I'm going to blast off to whoever this fucking is behind this thing. I put the money in and I see the mirror go down, the thing goes down, I see the girl, but then I look across and I see another thing go down and I see my homeboy. He's looking at
No.
They were supposed to be like two-way mirrors so you don't see the guys, but I can see all my homeboys' faces while they're looking. I'm like, yo, nigga, I can't do this, man. Like,
Why not though?
like I can't jerk off and look at my homeboy's face looking
All
at me.
grimacing at you.
It's just imagine all of us right here, just our faces,
Eyeballs connect.
and a girl in the middle.
I'm trying to imagine this so bad, dog.
Okay, so look
Wait, you stroke it? They don't stroke for you?
Look at no,
Yeah,
no.
no.
It's different rules. It's
can't
it's
touch,
different
bro.
rules, bro.
Yeah,
Europe,
so
dude.
look at Gio. So
Bro, this is self-service, homie.
Now this for like, this is like you get $1 for like a minute for the window to go down, or $2, whatever it was.
Leo, this is like if you went to Zoltan and you put it in and they'll
So
jack you off,
you
homie.
see how we're sitting right now? Imagine this size room, but they're little rooms, right? So just how we're sitting. So this is a room with a door. That's your. So I say, all right, yo, I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. I go in the room.
He thought he was by himself.
Right,
We
it's a
see
room,
everybody.
right? No. Everybody's by themselves, but in a closed room, and it's a two-way mirror, that you can't see till you put the money in. What happens is usually it's two-way mirrors where you don't see nobody. This one went down, and I saw all my homeboys' faces, and we were all like, yo, fuck you, yo, fuck you. We started talking shit. The hooker got mad. She flipped on us. She was like, fuck you, get the fuck out of here. She flipped on us. But the last thing I want to do is look at a bunch of dudes'
can't,
faces.
bro. I can't.
I want to high five Rizo Rodrigo.
Hell no. Imagine. Touch that fucking hand. You better cut that thing off.
I remember I'm like, yeah, she's high. And I go, imagine this. And then you see my face. Then you're like,
I wouldn't be able,
man. And we were like talking shit to each other. She got mad. She flipped on us. She cursed us out. Get the fuck out of here. Like, fuck you, hooker.
That's fucking funny,
Oh
dude.
my God.
If I saw you guys, I wouldn't be able to fucking. I can't. No, I don't want to see your guys' jack off faces.
Don't look at me, dog.
What I'm saying, like, don't act like you don't see me and be like, doing all these
Oh, wait,
faces.
you just had that fucking that story you said.
Oh, that was to do it.
But that's
But
different.
I wasn't looking at the. It's not like I
shit.
paid for it. It just happened.
It's
You know?
free. If it's free, you can look at them.
And plus, like I said, I used to watch a lot of softcore porn, so I can have sex without showing my dick, homie. You know.
No, but imagine, it's like almost imagine you going to the bathroom and you say, if you went to the bathroom with a dirty magazine, like old school, just imagine you like, okay, I'm going to handle business. And the minute you open that and you turn the page, you see Rodrigo's face right there. You'd be like, yo, what the fuck you doing?
What's up, dog?
That's the same idea.
Yeah.
Yo, by the handle business, the last thing I want to do is see my homeboys' faces. And I was like, yo, this shit's horrible. And then that's probably the last time I went into one of those things.
Yeah, let me borrow the magazine after you're done, you know? Like,
You guys have blue balls all day or what?
Oh yeah, that was like some old school shit. Like, yo, we're in Holland. Let's go see
Oh, man.
the jerk off booths.
And one thing about Europe though, it's different than America because America, all right, we're
Sex is
free,
more open, right?
land of the free, but we got that Puritan curtain or that Puritan
Christian as
umbrella
fuck, yeah.
over us. But in Europe, it's like, bro, if you can pay for it, go get it.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing with alcohol. Same thing with women.
Which is true. Which is
And
the same
condoms
thing
are everywhere too, right?
everywhere. You know what the problem is? Over here, they try everybody. When religion came here, everybody tried to be almost extra on the saint side. When listen, sex is part of human nature, and in Europe, they got a grip on it more. Like, hey, look it. Somebody made a point of this in America in the old cowboy movies. Where did the sheriff, the mayor, and everybody hang out? In the hookah house.
Yeah, the fucking
brothel.
the brothel, yeah.
Right? Because that's what you did.
Drinking whiskey, playing cards till something went
It
down.
was basically a bar that had the girls, but then it was just what we do. It's just how it is. In Europe, they put it together where, okay, if we're going to have this element, let's put it in one area where it could get regulated. And if you want to go there, you're going to go there. You ain't going to stroll through it by mistake. You ain't going to be yeah, exactly.
It's a designated spot.
So in Europe, it's literally you go to a neighborhood. Imagine going to a neighborhood. It's basically all hookers, but it's literally a neighborhood. All the windows, but it's made for bars and hookers.
So it's like saloon, like it's like the Wild West.
Yeah, windows. You have little windows, and there's girls standing with a light. They
Peep the product.
The red light district.
Yeah, red light, and you could walk up, and they'll be like, "Get out of here!" Even if they don't want to be like, "No." It ain't like
It's their choice.
It's
Cahuila,
their
bro.
choice.
Cahuila, bro.
It's their choice. You could get, they even have a day where in Holland where they do guys for, gays or whatever. They do like everybody for guys, but they do that like it's kind of a
Progressive, yeah.
real always been.
So, do you think the reason they are like that because those are older nations compared to the United States? They've been around like maybe like hundreds of years.
Well, that's where the
before?
West started, bro, and came out this way.
Yeah. You know what? All those they started. You know what it is? When we came here, you got everybody trying to take what they took back from the old country and preserve it. And
The
some
Quakers,
people overdid
bro.
it. Yeah, and then they overdid it.
Because you look at America up until they shot Kennedy, we were kind of like the moral authority. Then people started finding out you guys are just as dirty as everybody else.
Exactly, because America, it's newer, so the picture was, we're family. It's the mother,
the
father,
Rockefeller
the son,
picture.
and the
Suburban.
daughter, a dog,
Yeah.
a house. We have a barbecue. We eat bread, and they painted a picture of what it.
The Rockwell, the Norman Rockwell
Yeah,
painting.
all that shit. So, and that basically, he was just they let off a scenario on what we think it should be.
They painted an image.
We all eat wheat. We all eat cereal. We only have intercourse to have children in the missionary.
How they say, breakfast is eggs, bacon, and that's all bullshit.
The whole time Thomas Jefferson's fucking his slaves.
Yeah, exactly.
God,
That's why.
it's true.
That's
Am I
why-
right? Or
That's
am I
a
wrong?
fact.
Yeah.
That's why there's a lot of black Jeffersons. The name.
The TV show, The Jeffersons.
A lot of these people talk all this shit. There's
Bro,
a lot.
look at Ice Cube. That's why they say my slave name is Jack.
Yeah.
Shit, bro.
Yeah, no, for sure. And
Came
it's
from
like,
a Jackson.
and that's what it
Not
is. It's
Brother
like,
Jackson.
but what happened is a lot of these people came trying to preserve their heritage, which is cool, but then they overdo it. The minute you try to make yourself perfect, nobody's. If you really believe in God, if you don't or not, but if you do, you know you can't be perfect.
Hell no.
So with that being said, if the minute you acting perfect, you should be acting ungodlike, right?
Yeah.
So that's how you know they're full of shit. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. I'm like, I'm religious, but not like that, but I believe. But
Same
I'm like,
here.
but I believe that. I'm like, yo, dude, you gotta kind of people use it to how they want to use it.
Yeah, totally. I don't get too close to the fire. I just don't get too far away.
Yeah, I don't.
Saying?
Just
Need
in
that-
case.
That happy medium, bro.
Nunca sabes, Just,
know?
yeah.
That's why I got beef with science a little bit. Science is amazing. Science don't explain everything. I don't give a fuck what it is. They don't explain everything.
And it's not certain.
Exactly. You can't tell me. You can't tell me if I had a dream or something that a past a family member that passed talked to me. You're gonna tell me that didn't happen? That was just you could say that, but I know what it is. You know what I mean? There's
All
certain-
it is a fucking hypothesis
Yes.
that's like based on data.
You know who they
Not even a fact,
Look
bro.
at
It's not certain.
Look at I got my GED. What do I know? But I also know the guy who explained life was the dude in the wheelchair who was all fucked up.
Yeah.
Who said there's
Stephen
no,
Hawkins?
Yeah, who said there's no God, there's no this, no that. I also see why he may believe that, because I could tell you he could claim whatever. He was not a happy guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right or wrong?
I mean, if you're born like that, they're like,
You
oh,
know,
yeah, there's no God.
so you
dude.
could give me your explanation. Yeah, he did. Yeah, you had. I could tell you're leaning towards there's no God. And not to be a dick, but you know, in his situation, that's why he's leaning that. I guarantee you, because he's still human, that there's emotions caught up in that. I don't give a fuck how smart he is.
Right.
You tell me he don't wish he could walk? I'm not trying to be a dick.
Because Homeboy was a little sexual deviant,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Well,
So-
how?
No, he was, dude.
Yeah,
From the beginning,
Sending text
just like with
text messages,
with
dude.
different women up until he
Yeah.
couldn't. So to me, the only miracle, if you want to find God, is the fact this dude can have
Inner
intercourse
source, I mean.
with other women. Like, bro,
Yeah, we don't
look what he
know-
looked like.
Yeah, we
He looked
don't
like a
know.
crab in a wheelchair,
We
bro.
know or we don't know. So that means nobody knows.
Yeah, nobody
So
knows.
you can't tell that the person going to church, you can't talk shit on them. You can't talk shit on the atheists. We don't know. Show
Hasta
me
que te
proof.
mueras,
Yeah,
vas a saber,
in,
you know?
in the end, you don't know everything, and you don't know everything.
You don't know, and you know what I love that I always say this, and it's that old thing that people become religious in foxholes, and I believe that. Not that everybody should believe in God, but I know for a fact because I had mad fucked up shit happen to me. I guarantee everybody goes, God, even if you don't believe in God, if there's something out there, I need help. You're saying in your head.
Yeah.
So if you're saying that, you're hoping, and that's what God is supposed to be, hope.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a maybe. That's why you cling on to that. If a maybe gets you to the next day, that shit's godlike because you would have gave up today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
right?
one thing. Hope, just on that Spanish word, esperanza.
Yeah.
Esperanza,
kinda like-
hope, yeah.
You never know. Hopefully, there's some light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
I know there is, but I'm hoping there is.
Yeah, you got it. It's better to hope than be like, no, I don't know.
And that's the same
You're
thing.
already letting off a bad vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, you know it? You know it. Oh, you know it? Okay.
'Cause
So
even
you're
if-
done. That's it. Like, imagine you have a dying family member. I've had them. We all had it, but they say, that's it, they're going to die. Yeah, okay, you said that, but I'm still in my head. Oh, help. Please make it hard.
Yeah.
Please. Or let it be easy. Let it be. Who you're talking to?
Yeah.
If you are, it's because I believe and you're hoping
There's a higher
somebody's
power,
hearing that
yeah.
higher power. I guarantee you, everybody, if you care for somebody, you could hate yourself, but if you care about somebody and they're hurting that hard, you'll see how religious you turn. Because if you really care for somebody, you'll say, okay, I don't believe it, but man, for this person, for my homeboy who's my man, I'm going to throw that in there just in case for him. Because I give a fuck about the motherfucker.
right there where it's crucial.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's where it counts, I think. That's where,
Yeah.
that's where you make it real. When you throw your faith behind shit like that, you got to own it. When you don't own shit, it's hard, it's hard to claim
Well,
it.
yeah, hell yeah. When you don't own shit, when you rent shit, I don't give a fuck. It ain't mine. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And then
exactly.
it goes back to goes all back down to that, and that's like human basic fundamentals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to own
Human nature, man.
Yeah, you got to own that shit. And it's just like, and in this day and age right now, everybody thinks they know everything because they have the internet, but nobody knows shit.
Everybody's a fucking PhD, bro.
Everybody's a doctor. I have motherfuckers that would do coke off of like dirty assholes telling me about
God damn.
getting infections or vaccinations
shit,
or same dude. It's like like nobody ever asked me if I caught VD before, if I ever had a cold sore.
Beat your head
Nobody
kid.
ever asked me if I was what medication.
Right,
I don't
and
know
what
why now. I don't know why all of a sudden
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
my medical status matters so much.
Yeah.
Listen, I was a fat fuck and I'm still working on it. That's my medical status. That's all you need to know.
There's a lot of people. I mean, dude, I knew people that were tweakers. All of a sudden, now you're conservative.
Yeah, it's like that.
You used to lick bags.
Exactly.
Get outta here, bro.
I know. Yeah, exactly. I'd be like stripper assholes, and they're looking up, talking about, this thing has some type of weird. Put your face back in that dirty asshole. That's why we're immune to shit, because we had our faces in dirty places.
In dirty buttholes, dude. That's how you get strong, dude.
That's the vaccine. It's inside a dirty butthole.
That's what it is.
Oh, shit, dude. Hell yeah.
Bro, I love your voice, bro. It's just so
it's
authentic, man.
It's a fucking New York big mouth. That's what I call it. It's New York big mouth. Everybody told you, like, yo, you loud. I'm like, because I'm deaf. I've been playing in front of an amp for 30 years.
And what happened in New York? Like, because now it's you got the Tribeca we were talking about earlier, like what
Tribeca,
people
bro.
like the Sex and the City type New York. But when did that take place? Because I know like even before 9/11, Giuliani was over there cleaning up Madison Square,
Yeah, all
or
that.
just right there like Times Square, because I remember like back there you can go get blowjobs,
crazy.
hooker, whatever you wanted,
crazy.
you can get it.
That's true.
And then when homeboy came in, it's like he brought Disney.
Yes.
He cleaned it up.
I bought my first fake ID on 42nd Street, where the 40 Deuce, where you see, right now you see all the movie theaters and all that. Right there on the streets, to get into CBGB's for show, you had to be 16 and over.
CBGBs.
So I was 15, so I had to get fake ID. You know how the fake ID was? The black dude on the corner. Yo, you want ID? Come with me to the alley. This is what I had to do. Well, my godbrother, who's half Mexican and Puerto Rican, went in the alleyway. He came out with a fucking camera with the big flash. I'm in the alleyway in 40 dudes. Takes the picture. Says, I'll be back. I gave him $40 at the time. That was a lot. Like something like 40, $50. And I was like 15.
It's a $1.50 now.
Yeah, exactly. It was something like that. And I thought he left. And I was like, oh, he robbed us. Like, we got robbed. Like, yeah, I already was hip on it. But I was like, half hour later, he comes back. My ID.
Legit.
What it was legit for the time. He had a Xerox machine.
That was before ID scanned.
Yes, exactly. So he was just doing the Xerox and had a laminating machine. But they were legit for the time, and I had that shit for years.
Wow.
But I bought it. I was happy that I did it old style, like the black dude in the corner, give me the alleyway.
All gritty, huh?
Yeah, real. And 40 Deuce was like that. You buy weed, coke, hookers, everybody, like just hundreds on the street. Hundreds. They were just there. And you could hang out there, walk through them, and there's nobody hiding. It was fucking crazy. That shit was crazy.
Wow.
Like in the movies in the 70s, that's how it was. Just everywhere.
You could have got snatched,
Everything.
fucking beat up, raped, and killed.
Always.
Bro.
There was like purse snatching, pickpockets, all that was very common. Very.
And when they were doing that, were they just doing it to the tourists? Were they doing it to like citizens?
A little bit of everybody, but it was like anybody, you know, if you're in the fucked up place or whatever.
Wrong time, wrong era. You know.
Yeah,
wrong,
but back then, a lot more. The barrio was more. Now the barrios are all hipsters now.
Yeah,
back then it
right.
was still like, you know, people from the neighborhood.
grimy as fuck.
So it was dope, but you know, like in the summer, everybody's on the street. You know, you have the fire hydrant, the music or whatever. But when it's hot and there's a lot of people get restless.
Yeah.
And then that's what would bring a lot of shit. And then there's drug dealing, and then there's the drug dealing, and then there's a beef, and then it's summertime, and there's hot, and everybody on top of each other. That's what made it so crazy. California, different flavor, everything's spread out. People have more. You got to ride. Even when people have beef, like, oh, that's that neighborhood. You kind of.
You need to make the trip, bro.
Yeah, you go in, or you can stay away. In New York, you're right next to each other.
New York is dense as fuck.
Again, it's different. So out here at the height of shooting, back home it was stabbing.
Damn.
Again, why? Why was shooting? You drive by over here.
Yeah.
And New York, you're close. You can't shoot and run and hide. Drive out. You're close.
Traffic
Like,
sucks.
Bat, 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 and be like,
Yeah.
traffic. Exactly.
Taxis,
you
yeah.
can't go jump on the highway, go through La Alhambra, wherever the fuck we're at, and Pomona and Whittier Heights. Now, you're stuck at the fucking Midtown Tunnel.
They'll fucking sock you up and they'll
Yeah,
fucking
and now
bring you
you
the
get
taxi.
fucked up and you're in the light. No, but that's the style out here was that. But that's
I
also,
never thought about that,
yeah.
dude.
So the neighborhoods are more spread out. So
Yeah.
it's like I bugged out even when I was like I used to just think Compton was black. When hearing all the
music,
NWA told
and
them.
then you realize Compton had mad Mexicans.
Yeah.
Early on, even Paul Rodriguez, right? He was freaking Compton, early Compton.
Yeah.
But I mean, I learned about that later. But you know, a certain stereotype back home. Compton was all the black dudes. You think East Los is only where Mexicans are, cholos. Then you learn okay, the Pomonas, the fucking Whittiers, and all how it changes. But you don't. Back home, you think everything is L.A.
Yeah.
like colors, and you don't realize. Oh, like
Totally.
you assume even San Diego. No, that's L.A. You think the Bay Area is like L.A. and like no, those are like two different animals.
Yeah, dude.
But you
That's
think
north and
not
south.
till
right
you
there.
not till you get there, you realize you're like, the difference. I learned that from the Southern, even with my Mexican brothers, the Southerners, the Northern dudes.
Oh, yeah.
They see shit different. I hear from them.
Yeah,
So I know even from my lingo to whatever, the Northerns speak more like East Coast, which is definitely slang.
That's
more
true.
black.
It is more kind of like
Look at
the hyphy kind of.
Listen, the slang north. The north of California is similar to East Coast, which is more black urban mix.
Yeah, and if you go to the prison situation, they mix with the black.
Yes, exactly. The norte, exactly. And Southern Cal ain't. It's oldies. They got Chicano.
Yeah.
It's different.
Keep your hair
Chicano
short.
rap.
Yeah, yeah.
Cholo, yeah.
Up there, the norteños will cross over black. They say they slang is more East Coast kind
Long hair, braided,
You know, they'll say that,
ponytail.
yes.
That's true.
That's what it is, and you learn it's a whole different. They're red. This is blue. The norteños, and it's a different flavor. What bugged me out was we automatically assume if we think a campesino, you think South, right? You think automatic because being a North, the people from the South are the Hicks or the farmer. So for me, California, when I heard the Sureños, I used to assume, they must be the paisas.
Yeah.
You know, I thought they would be when it was like, no, opposite. All the farmers went up north.
Yeah,
That's
from
all.
Bakersfield on up.
Yeah. But you know, being a New Yorker, when you hear South, you automatically think that's Hick.
Yeah,
You know, anything South is more
closer to Mexico.
I was just saying Hick
Or
to
the South, you know.
Yeah,
just
hillbilly shit.
that makes sense. The South,
The South is just
Pull out your
country.
fucking banjo.
Anything more Georgia, anything is South. You go, that's South.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, St. Louis. That's the South. It's
Alabama,
Southern. So when I used to California, Southern California, and then you hear the Sureños and Norte, I would think but then they're the more American Mexicans.
Yeah.
And the Mexicans are up north.
Yep.
So that was a kind of a weird thing that I learned years ago, but then I would learn even from my boys. I had a lot of Mexican homeboys, Sureños that came out of the prison system. They told me a lot of shit on how things were.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of knew already, but then you put it together more on how things work because New York, there's racism everywhere, but New York is definitely lingo and like hip hop in general. Hip hop is mixed.
Yeah.
With black and Latin. Even if they're not hanging together, it's kind of, you interact more. Out here, it got separated. Like, you had Cholo rap that only fucks with Cholo.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have hip hop that kind of with everybody. Back home, it was kind of everything. If you were Latin, you almost wanted to be down with the black because he's like, yo, there's no Latin dudes. If you could come off here, it's like being a white boy with black basketball players and you being good. You're like, you're going to be extra good if you can hang with them. Same thing with hip hop back home. Latin and whatever. It wasn't like, we just Latin hip hop, like Big Pun. No, it was we hip hop. Rap, it's the same all together.
I used to watch like old movies from the 80s, like even like the movie Beat Street, or even like the Fat Boys. Wasn't there a Puerto Rican guy?
The Sortleys.
Yeah.
Always was, yes. It's always been a Latin American. All the breakdancers, Rocksteady crew, they were all Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican and
Ukraine. Mr. Freeze was from the Ukraine.
Oh, shit.
A white boy. People don't know. He's the one. If you what was that movie?
Not Beat Street.
The old one, the dance movie that was big. With
Electric
the girl.
Boogaloo? No.
It wasn't.
That was our Beat Street.
Flash dance. You remember with the girl?
Oh, yeah.
So there's a part, the famous part, the water's falling, but you see a guy popping. That's Mr. Freeze from Rocksteady. He's Ukrainian. He ain't even Puerto Rican.
God damn.
But that's what New York is. That's why I love New York.
That's a whole melting pot, like the original melting pot.
Yeah.
And that's original Rocksteady crew. So when you saw the original break dancers with Crazy Legs, that was Mr. Freeze. They already had a white boy, black dude, and there was mainly Puerto Rican, the Latin dudes. All the dancers were Latin dudes. You know what I mean? So it's like it mixed, and then the music, the rappers, some Latin, but then a lot more of the black kids were they break dance too, but then the music went more to that. You know what I mean? It just became all black for some reason. I don't know, like Latin, but first Latin dude to really pop off that wasn't a Fat Boy or whatever would be Pun, who really
Big Pun, yeah.
who really came out and like went platinum and all that bullshit, and they was like, okay, some next level shit.
Then Daddy Yankee came out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
No, but that was different. I remember that. I know you said I was in Puerto Rico too when that was coming up. I had played a show, and I never forget the guy who brought us. He goes, "Yo, check this out." I go, "What is this?" Because it sounded so crazy.
Like,
He goes,
it was a hip hop, but not hip hop.
And reggae. He goes, "It's called reggaeton," and I started laughing.
Because they're rapping in Spanish.
It's reggae. And he goes, it's a mix of Caribbean, rap and this and that. And I used to like Tego Calderon, Tego.
That's classic.
The man, but that's real hip hop. So I was like, I know Tego, but they're like, no, this is some other shit. I go, you heard the accordions because they would take it from the salsa and then put it in that whole reggaeton shit. And then I remember Daddy Yankee kind of early on, and Don Omar.
Yeah.
Or
They were like,
even you go back, General, you know, like
he was the first one.
he was the
Godfather.
Godfather, bro.
That was the motherfucker. He was the best.
Yeah,
And what
dude.
happened to him? I'm glad you said that.
He's still around.
He was the shit.
But he was a man, bro.
He was the man. You know what? That was the first. Like Latin, but he came out real like reggae like that.
Yeah.
It was hard. That was
Very,
great.
very sexual too. The
Yeah.
songs, dude, the girls, yeah.
That
But
was
that's
great.
all those, like when you go to the Caribbean and all those people are just flexing their hips. It's all that type of shit.
Yeah. And now you guys were talking about fucking this dude. Peso Pluma. That motherfucker talk about it. After you talk about him, I see that motherfucker pops up in my feed every day now. I see
Crazy.
this fucking guy.
Just one song, bro.
Yeah, it's insane, dude. It wasn't even his actual song, man.
Yeah, that whole shit is crazy.
And I didn't know. I was researching. He was a soccer player, right?
He
Was
lived
he?
out. You did a lot of shit. He lived out here. He's like
Lebanese blood, though.
His parents are from Lebanon. No, his grandparents are from Lebanon. Yeah,
No
so
way.
Fucking grandpa's probably Carlos
That-
Slim.
Yeah, but that's like
shit.
there's that Cholo rapper, Mr.
Capone.
Capone.
That fool was fucking
He's like Pakistani.
he's
or some shit.
Pakistani as well. Yeah,
Yeah, because I know a lot of people talk shit about him too.
He
Like,
grew up in La Puente or something like
yeah,
that.
well, when they find out the lineage, they're like,
They hate on him, bro.
and then,
Bro, he's so
he's on
sick,
the
dude.
Carlos Mencia of rap.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good.
But you can't hate on him because it's just like, bro, he came up that way.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
loves the foot. I'm good, Leo.
He grew up in the fucking in
Yeah, you can't, and he loved it, and he took it. He
No,
took it
that-
for
no,
what it's worth
no,
and
no.
made something of it.
No, that's who
West
you are.
Covina. Yeah, West.
No, but,
wait.
but that's who you are. If you came up, that's who you are. You know what I mean? He came
Yeah.
up with those people.
Because it's like when you get like white dudes, they're all like
He's
gangsters.
Pakistani.
Where they're like
Pakistani?
where
Yeah.
they're gangsters and they
Really?
hang out with
Who's that?
Mexican people, but that becomes their livelihood.
Yeah, of
And you know, their own white dudes make fun of them, all fucking milkweed.
Of
But it's
course.
like homeboy abandoned all that. This is his life.
Yeah, no,
so you
no,
can't fuck with
for
him.
sure. Look, he's been around long enough. He's still alive.
He's
that
touring.
So that should tell you though that OGs that he's in with the right people or he
Yeah.
ain't faking it because they would
Yeah.
have handled that a
Yeah,
long
yeah,
time
yeah,
ago.
totally.
Because that dude, he don't say like, oh, I'm a he's like
No, yeah.
a down rapper with them. Like I'm a dude in the hood. I'm on the streets. I'm in
He
there.
never claimed Latino. He just does the music,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember him like when
Yeah.
I was in college and shit when he was like fucking out there rapping and touring.
He was the name I heard on, like, not early on, but when it got more established, West Coast, like, okay, now they got dudes. Like, you know, early on, of course, you had
Kid Frost.
Frost was the crossover.
or like lighter shade of brown, but
Yeah.
still, it was like few and far between where they didn't they didn't come down with like a foundation.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a network where they can build off of.
Yeah.
It was separate. You know, you had Mellow Mayonnaise before
Yeah.
that other clown, what, Gerardo?
Yeah.
Or, that, you know,
Yeah, that
you-
wasn't him. Yeah, I was like, yeah, it was like,
Uncle
yeah.
Father, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of that shit, but I mean, this dude's actually from the street and they're part of the culture.
Exactly. The other guys came out like the industry trying to capitalize on it.
Totally.
You could talk upon him. He was like a hood kid who liked music and came. Exactly. You could tell he had the streets with him. Hey, the streets are with
Little Rob is another one that was
yeah,
fucking.
he's been
homeboy.
on.
San Diego guy?
Yeah.
Little Rob is San Diego.
I think it's from like somewhere around there, like down there, yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
a couple of they're like, you know, they kind of like laid down like Chicano rap and did it, you know, for the culture.
Yeah, like later on, like my boys, like Jackin and all them. You know.
Yeah, oh,
Psycho
dude,
Realm.
yeah, fuck yeah,
Like,
same thing.
That's my fam right there. Like we did that Psycho Realm Fest a couple years ago, and we did it with Rivery. You know.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah,
She
dude.
was with her, Psycho Realm, like Jack, and you know he actually did the intro on the one song.
Yeah, Straight Jackin is like, I mean, both of the shows in LA, he was right there with
Yeah,
you guys.
no,
so.
Jack is a good dude, and the same thing, you know, dudes that they love it. You know, the whole Latino shit. You know, he loves hardcore too, but he was like, yo, you know, we're the same people. We connected early on, you know, West Coast, whatever, but like street kids doing music, you know, same people, you know, trying to.
Even with that, like, you can even say, like, Cypress Hill had a hand in that fucking, like, early Latino rap,
Yeah.
or what do you say, Chicano rap, whatever you want to
So-
because they did that Latin legal, and then we're going back to 93, 92.
Exactly. So we did on Christmas, Halloween, we did the Cypress Hill shit in Philly and New York. We played with them. Sendog, he loves that shit. He loves punk, hardcore metal, like all that.
Yeah, there's a metal band
I
for
had
Bob.
him meet when he met with Roger and all these dudes. He was like, yo, he was bugging out because he loves Agnostic Front and all that. Sendog's a guy who likes that shit. He's like, yo, I really fuck with this. Like, again, people don't know this. With the Mexican dudes that whole punk shit's been really deep with the Mexican dudes. And,
Yeah,
you know,
dude.
and you know where I learned that even early on? One of our early shows in the, I want to say it was late 90s. We played in Holland, right? We played a festival. And it was a bunch of bands. Then it was Los Lobos,
Wow.
Madball, Korn.
Damn.
It was up. Now check. This was before Korn blew up. They were blowing up, but before they blew up, they
It's
were
like
still
what?
big.
95, 94?
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit more. 94, 5 around there. They were big, but not. They're still
What
on
they
their way.
became.
But so Los Lobos go on, and we're like, me and Freddie are bugging out. We're like, yo. This is crazy. The Bomba motherfuckers, yo. I love this shit. Like, yo, I love this shit. I want to see it. And they could play because those motherfuckers could play. They're really good musicians. So they play the show. They're playing. It's really like rockabilly shit. You know, when you see their whole set, the Los Lobos, they have a lot of rockabilly kind of.
And it comes from like the Blasters, X, all that shit that was.
So I didn't know. So
here in LA.
now they play and we go nuts. We're like bugging out. I'm there with Stigma, the OG.
Oh,
or whatever.
hell yeah, bro.
And then we play, and when we're playing, it was one of the best feelings I ever had. While we're playing, those motherfuckers on the side and homeboys going crazy while we're playing. The bass player for Los Lobos, they all are rocking out. They like going nuts. But you could tell like, what do you call it? They legit were getting into it, not just like, oh, these like
Just
cool
'cause they're
guys.
there, yeah.
They were like, and I got off stage, and the bass player came up to me. Now, remember, I played 2 strings. I got 2 fingers. I got gorilla hands. I played 2
E&A?
strings. I got 2 fingers. I played 2 strings, but I got 9 albums. So, all right. But my point is, this bass player is ridiculous. He's up.
Están Ready Bros Podcast.